Warning, warning. Scientists have recently announced that overexposure to the rocket radio show may cause acute red light debilitating symptoms. Be advised if you are less than Marxist scumbag. My horses ain't in. Makes me wonder if the coyotes have been messing with them. The light was off. All the ducks are here. The goat was out in the middle of the field. That's not a good sign. What I'm gonna do, I got bale alfalfa here, and they come off in big 4-inch leaves of bale, you know. There's one. I got 2 horses, so I'm gonna get 2. It's nice and green. We're inside my tack shed. Right here. I just fed the goat. Everybody's hungry. Now, inside here, this is the stable, and the chickens that are left that the coyotes haven't stolen are up in the rafters. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 13 up in the high rafters, and then another 7 on top of the rail just above the stable. They're still high enough that the coyotes can't get them, and everybody else that was dumb enough to come down has been chewed up. Even my big one, my big rooster, Leonardo DiCaprio, got snagged. I've shot at them coyotes a couple times. See, there's nothing for them to eat here. And you know they're not coming. I'm surprised. They probably see my flashlight. Makes me think there's probably coyotes coming in here trying to grab themselves a chicken. And I'm bugging them. But I just turned on the heat lamp because it's freezing cold out here. My chickens are tough, man. And they're laying eggs. I got like 21 eggs today. I got 5 roosters. Too many roosters. Alright. And then I used to have like 24 ducks. I got 4. I eat 1. You know you don't really eat roosters. They're too tough. You eat them in stew maybe. Or all them fucking chicken sticks. You eat all that mushy rooster meat that ain't no good. So now I got 2 Muscovy ducks. They don't make any sound. They make little tiny sounds. And then I got 2 loudmouth ducks, a boy and a girl, but they're actually brother and sister. They were raised, there was a nest, and they hatched out. Their mom and dad are gone. In fact, I ate their dad. And then this guy over here is the fucking retard on the farm. This is Billy. He was born here, I think, last April or something. And you know, goats are dumb. We got rid of his mom because she was so noisy. And I've come to realize that goats need to follow around their mom for a long time. He's a retard. First he was bonded with the chickens, followed the big rooster around, and the rooster got gobbled up by the coyotes, and now he follows around the horses. Now the horses are nowhere to be seen. Now, I'll just come out here. Okay, I'm in the Pacific Northwest, so it's kind of crispy, like that feeling on your face when you open the refrigerator door. But it's just green, just gorgeous. And now I'm standing here looking at the water barrels. They're rain-fed, and they're okay. Holy Christ, look at all that horse shit. Now I got to get in there and muck all that out. I got to add some hay. But watch, let's see if we can get the horses to come. I guess they can see. You know, I had an idea for an invention. You could just get a bridle with, oh, that was pumpkin. Hi-ho, silver, here they all come. I'll get them all worked up. Listen. Here she comes. Come on. Listen. Run in. Hi, girl. Wow, you're all muddy. Oh, there's food. Let's get over here where you guys can... Did you hear it? Pumpkin's an older horse, but she does a great hi-ho silver horse. The other horse is Shelby. She ain't come in yet. Here they are. Hi, girl. Let's see. Oh, you're all hungry. You hear them chewing. Hi, baby. What's going on, girl? She's pretty. Come here. Oh, my goodness. Look at you. You're all muddy, too. That feels good. And Dad, leave me alone. I'm trying to eat. Now, you know, when you give a horse food, I always try to do it different every time so they got something to do. Sometimes I break up the alfalfa and put it on both sides of the box. Sometimes I leave it in the leaf. And now, they're eating like a premium horse food with grain and corn. And then this stuff here, this is grease. It's basically soybean oil I feed to them special. And you know, you don't want to feed them too much because they'll get colicky. If your horse gets colicky, don't call a vet. Just take them for a walk. A long walk. They'll shit it out. And for those of you who don't know what colicky is, just they eat too fast. It's like an athlete. They're too hot, and their bowels will lock up. You know, horses are a monogastric animal, which is different from like a goat, which is a polygastric animal. They call those type of animals a ruminant. Where a horse is different. Horses eat on the fly. They're one of the only animals around that actually digest their food through fermentation in their cecum, believe it or not. So, and you know, they got to eat all day long. They chew like 16 hours a day. Any eggs in here? Let's see. No. Got those earlier. Now over here, now we're in Pumpkin's booth. Hi, girl. Is that good? Pumpkin was one of those horses that you ride on the beach for years and years and years. And then she had an 8-year-old boy that had her and kind of starved her. She was a skeleton when I got her. I'm not fat now, but man, you are a bushy girl. You know, I don't believe in putting blankets on the horses. It's not good for them. It destroys their ability to adapt to extreme cold. If they bear it out, they'll slowly build up their resistance, and when they get a flasher that's real cold, it won't bother them as much. Now, right now, Billy, our little goat, what he's doing is he's already finished his food, so he's sneaking around horses' troughs trying to get up here and sneak in and get some of theirs. And what they'll do is they'll throw their ears back and bite him. Try to bite him. And he'll throw his horns towards him. Here he is. What are you doing? You hear Pumpkin eating away. Now they're silly, you know. They'll use their face and their nose and they'll push all the alfalfa out of the way and like even throw it on the ground to get to the condensed food on the bottom. That's the stuff they want. It's high energy, you know, got a lot of fat in it. And these guys got huge energy demands, you know, just to maintain their weight, they got to chew a lot. And keep their teeth from, you know, getting all messed up. They're like hamsters. They got to keep eating. And so what they'll do is they want those good pickings on the bottom. And they'll throw the alfalfa completely out of the box onto the ground. And then once they're all done, they'll finally go down and get all the stuff off the ground. I have no mercy for them. They're sloppy eaters. They get it all, though, man. Pumpkin will stand here for like 4 hours right now. Now, Pumpkin was a discarded horse because they said she was a cribber. Cribbing means they chew on all their surroundings, kind of a nervous habit. The fact is, it took me a little while to figure it out. She's not actually a cribber. She's what's known as an air sucker. What she does is she'll lock her jaw, I'll have to get a recording of that, onto the edge of something, and then she'll kind of open her windpipe and belch inward some air. Now, they got special collars that are to treat that, and, you know, medicines, and you can beat them and whatever, you know, try to get them to stop doing it. But I heard a British report that said that, you know, starving horses develop that bad habit because they need the air in their stomach. They don't burp. Horses don't burp. And so I don't want to stop her from doing it. Seems like when she eats a lot and she's happy and healthy like she is now, she doesn't do it as much, but just to let you know, there's like a 4-inch gap on this wood edge, probably about 1.5 inches deep, chewed away in one spot. She bites right on there. You can see the shape of the teeth and everything in the wood. Now, also in this particular stall, because they can get to both, they fight over it. Pumpkin is the beta female, so she gets beat up. Shelby always bullies her way to wherever the best stuff is. But in this particular food box is a giant, I guess it's a 5-pound, it's pretty big, man, thing of salt. And they lick it. They lick it a lot. I mean, it's all like Art Deco shaped, artistically shaped. You know, like kind of like rocks on the Pacific Ocean where urchins have been eating away. And except it's horses, they're like licking it. They like that salt. And I let them, they can just lick at it as much as they want. Let me just check this here. Oh, Lord. We just figure everything I feed them on the front end comes out over here on the back end. Jesus Christ. But you know what? That all goes, I got me a fancy cart. That all goes in a cart. I got to do it every few days. And then I got to put fresh straw in here, keep your feet dry. Let me see your feet, girl. Oh, look at those. Steady. Steady. Let me see. Looks good. You're filthy. No flies. Isn't that nice, girl? Yeah, it's freezing. That's cold. I always have to check the water to make sure it ain't frozen on the top. I mean, they'll stick their head all the way down in a 50-gallon drum. They'll be dry. They get their head down in there. Once again, Billy's over here underneath Pumpkin's stall, trying to stealth his way in. Up here he is. He's popping up on the side. Oh, Pumpkin throws her ears back. You know, horses are interesting. Once you finally get them, you figure it out. You know, if they throw their ears back, it's an aggression thing. I remember when there was a time I was actually afraid of them. Now I get them. I understand them. They're pretty neat animals. By and large, they're just goddamn hay burners. All they do is eat. They're a horrible pet. Unless you're a chick. Unless you're a 16-year-old girl. Maybe you can fall in love with them. Or a freaky British guy. Okay, now Billy's moved over to Shelby's pen. Shelby's a lot more meaner about it. Hi, girl. And she's really pretty. She's got long black manes, all nasty. And she's kind of chestnut colored with a white thing down the middle of her face. Just pretty. Looks like a plastic doll. The only thing about her is she's kind of smaller. She's a 13-hand horse, which is one of those, like a smaller size horse. But she has a normal size horse head, so she got a pretty big head, by and large, and that makes her not showable or anything. You know, she's kind of a mutant. But she's pretty. She looks like a plastic doll. She don't like me to shine the flashlight out. Oh, no. Lily's trying to get up in here. You can hear her. What is it? Now, the thing about Shelby that's different from Pumpkin is Shelby will let you pet her mouth and her lips. Hi, girl. You're so pretty. It's just soft as can be. Her fur on the side of her face. And, you know, they're like dogs. She likes to be scruffy. She's biting that Billy. Yeah, she pins her ears back when she does that. And then when she comes back towards me, it goes normal. He's coming up and bugging her. He's like touching her and stuff. She's hungry. They're always hungry. They're good? they'll just keep at it till it's all gone. You know, it's contrary to their nature to actually be domesticated. They say they were first domesticated in Atlantis, according to Aristotle. But they're normally, you know, skittish savanna creatures, just like zebras. Zebras are so wild, you know. I always wonder why the black dudes over in Africa didn't ride zebras, you know. They're just too freaking wild. They can't be tamed. So probably, most likely, the Anunnaki may have altered the genetic structure of our common domesticated animals too, if you think about it. I mean, look, a regular house cat's got all the hardware to be a vicious, you know, little mountain lion. Think about it. You know, but they just docile. Somebody tweaked them. Kind of makes sense. Think about it. Look at the pig. Or you know what else is a trip? If you really want to expand your mind, I went to a museum in Hawaii one time, and they had all these skeletons of whales. It was a big place, but all the whales had legs. They had like back legs, hip bones, and stuff. And then they showed where whales and porpoises, what kind of animal they came from, and it was kind of like a weird-looking wolf. And it started going out into the tide pools, and then its nasal cavity, whoa, almost got crapped on from the nasal cavity began to migrate up on its cranium until it became on the top of its head. It slowly shed its keratin layer of skin, you know, like you get all wrinkly when you're in water. Well, they don't. And began to get bigger and accumulate blubber for buoyancy, and bigger is better. And you got whales and dolphins. So they all started off from a common ancestor, kind of like they had like a little model in a glass box. It looked kind of a combination of a werewolf and a wolf. Kind of like man-shaped body walking on all fours. Kind of freaky. If you think about it, it's not absurd. Look at the flounder, right? Starts off a normal fish, and then pretty soon it lays on its side, and that eye migrates to the other side of its skull. See what I mean? Pretty trippy if you think about it. Now I'm walking to my back 40 just to take a look on what's going on back here, just to make sure everything's squared away. I got a well right here. I bought a hand pump for it, like an old-fashioned one off of eBay. And I got a big fire pit over here. That's where we do those campfires you hear about, those nice campfires. And then over here, I got a big giant pile of wood and debris and stuff. I'm going to burn that up. I'm going to have a Burning Man festival at my house. Right over here to my right is a big giant area where I had that all tilled up, and I had that big garden, big bunch of corn, complete failure. Oh, get some seeds for the survival thing. Man, the learning curve on gardening is so long. I'm smart and I fucked it up. I planted too late. They never got high enough. And then the other thing, I free range all my chickens. I figured the chickens would eat the insects off protect them. No, what they do is they peck at every little tiny, delicate little thing that sticks off from the corn, like a new sprout, or the little silky things for, each corn cob. They just get in there and peck that shit clean, man. They just mutilate the corn. So my corn never got more than 10 inches tall. They're all brutalized. So, and I planted too late. I just dicked around and I missed it by a couple of weeks. Now, the pig experiment. I'm big on the pig. I'm doing the pigs again. I had 2 pigs. I got a lot of help from a lot of people. They ate a lot of, homeless shelter throwaway stuff. And the local vegetable stand guy was kind of flirting with my wife and giving us a lot of stuff for the pigs to eat. Well, it's a perfectly charcoal gray sky. Can't see any stars at all. All the trees are just big black silhouettes, kind of like a black and white photo. The air is so crisp. I wonder if I'm going to breathe in a radioactive fleck floating in from Japan. That's possible. Or what if I see a Bigfoot? I don't fucking believe in Bigfoot. Jesus Christ, Bigfoot. Have you ever noticed there's no genitals? You see a Bigfoot guy, right? He's 8 feet tall, gigantic genitals. His penis would probably be at least a foot long. He's trudging through the forest, right? Super speed. Bam! Hits his genitals on a stick. They don't wear clothes. Or is it like one of those little fancy dogs? You know, he's got the hair. It's in there, but, you know, he's got to be going for it to work. I don't think so. If it's a dude, you know, ape guy, he's going to have a chapstick. He's going to have some kind of, you know, even the pygmy guys cover that shit up, man. They're careful with it. But no, we're supposed to believe that some fucking Bigfoot is trudging around out in the bushes. And, you know, when you get in that shit, I can barely walk through there. And it's like, crunch, crunch, crunch. I mean, Jesus Christ. People in Oregon know where I am, but yet some 9-foot-tall character is supposed to be trudging around there. Let's see, he's 9 foot tall, he's 8 foot tall. What is his calorie intake? He probably needs 4,000 calories a day. Let's think, we're in the Pacific Northwest. What kind of things are available that could feed a 9,000 calorie guy? Well, maybe that'd be like feeding a bear. Okay, so what's he supposed to do? He's supposed to consume insects and larvae and then salmon, like tons of it, like 50 pounds of salmon a day to get ready. You see what I mean? It's not happening. There's not enough food sources. Where's he supposed to sleep, this Bigfoot, right? You know, you got the Bigfoot. He's out there in the forest. He starts to get tired. What, does he build a lean-to? Does he just sleep on the ground? Or how could they survive if they're so fucking stupid that they would just sleep on the ground? Or they go to a cave. Are there enough caves to support the Bigfoot families? I mean, how many fucking caves are there? How many caves have, like, bars? And now because there's bars, there's less Bigfoots. No, I don't think they go in caves. I think they stick to the forest, you know. And then all the ridiculous claims about Bigfoot. Why doesn't Bigfoot, you know, steal a car? Why doesn't a Bigfoot get busted by a ranger, you know, and then handcuffed in a mistaken identity, thinking he's some kind of, you know, local Star Wars attendee that got lost in the woods, dressed as Chewbacca? But no, it turns out it's a Bigfoot. It would be headlines. National Enquirer would be rushing down. Pretty soon, Obama would be down there and explaining how they're going to pass some new legislation that's going to protect the rights of Bigfoot. Now that Bigfoot's emerged from the forest, he'll get an attorney from the ACLU that's going to go in there and represent him and get him out of the initial charges. Pretty soon he's released. And now Bigfoot gets to become a member of the society, and pretty soon he gets asked to work for the government. And after slaving a while for the State Department, pretty soon he gets invited into the Spook Club. Next thing you know, old Chewbacca Bigfoot is over in the Middle East, and he's involved in some kind of illegal gun smuggling operation and gets burned by a bunch of Salifist dudes that are pissed off because of some of this crazy military shit that was going down that resulted in factions of senior CIA intelligence being really pissed off at Petraeus and the way he was running things. And so what they did is they put pressure on the FBI to continue pursuing the investigation against Petraeus, even though the FBI was ready to call it off because they didn't find anything illegal. But no, they kept pushing because the direct bodyguards and the direct the defense team that took care of Petraeus personally faked on him and said, yep, he's banging her. I'd bang that girl. God, you're over in Afghanistan. You got Holly Petraeus at home. She looks like a cubular elf. How are you supposed to get turned on by that? I'm just not sure. Why doesn't Holly get a haircut? She needs to get a box of dye and get on it. Maybe go on like a YouTube channel and learn how to do eye makeup. Get on down to a Pilates class and lose 20 pounds. Now, I'm not trying to say that she has less value because she's about as sexy as a sea urchin. But what I am saying is it looks like she's let herself go. She's got a cakey cherry job, you know, and you know what? The Petraeus camp, you know what they think? You know, it's the old saying, whether you're caught with a dead girl or a live boy. Well, it wasn't that case. So what he's going to do, he's going to go into hiding. He's going to go teach, right? He's already interviewing. He's going to go teach somewhere and lay low for a little while, and then he's going to reemerge. You mark my words. And why did the Rolling Stone magazine fry McChrystal when the Rolling Stones is CIA itself? Why did they do that? There's a struggle going on between the CIA, the State Department, and the military. And you know, believe it or not, the CIA was trying to complain to Petraeus, saying we're in the intelligence business, not in the paramilitary business. And so there was morbid conflicts going on with senior intelligence folks, and that's what resulted in it. Basically, no one saw it coming. That's the story, that no one saw it coming, the attacks in Benghazi. Now, this really forthright, kind of a new version of the story, did happen to call it a consulate, which is the old party line when we all know it wasn't a consulate. It was some kind of torture chamber, a la warehouse with shoulder-mounted missiles in it. You know, some kind of gun-running operation that we're not supposed to know about. So how many compartmentalization of our intelligence agencies going on, and how much money are we spending on that? And, you know, I did a show recently about how landing was fake. I totally believe that, right? You know what? You know what I'm starting to think? You think about this. They're lying their asses off. They lied about 9/11. We know that. They lied about the weapons of mass destruction. They've lied about a lot of stuff. They're liars, and we know that. They're not on Mars. They didn't go to Mars. That's all fake. You know what they're doing? They're making all that shit in some movie theater somewhere, some movie, you know, film set, and taking all that money and funding black ops, you know, Rand Corporation stuff. That's what they're doing. All that Mars shit's fake. It's all fake. Think about it. You know, we haven't come far enough in robotics that we gotta have this, like, clunky fucking arm and scoop a little dirt and then throw it in there and say, oh, the spectral analysis says it's a high carbon. You know, that could be life. You know, come on, bro. Make it have some hands and feet and look down and pick up the dirt and look around and take a shovel and dig and walk and get it on a fucking quad on the surface, man. You know what I mean? They probably got fucking bases up there. But you know what? They can't get past the radiation belt. That's the big secret. That's what makes me think that UFOs are more likely interdimensional or time travelers. That would make sense. Maybe they're time travelers, and they want to cause a paradigm shift by interfering with the past. You know, they got to be observers. They're always watching. They're always on the periphery, lurking. Those goddamn UFO guys. After 60 fucking years of standing out there watching, I wish they'd make their move. Enough with this watching already. These guys are like voyeurs, you know. Finally, when there's disclosure and then they land, they're going to be so conditioned to watching. They're going to go on reality shows where, you know, instead of a camera crew following you around, an alien follows you around. He doesn't talk to you or do anything. He just steps back about 10 feet and watches you. You know, if you go to the restaurant, you look, he's at the other table. He's an alien. He paid the money. He's watching. These guys love that shit. They just watch, you know. For them, it's like earth porn, right? You're gonna take all this trouble. I don't think they're manned. You know, in advanced civilization, why risk body and soul going there when you could send some avatar? We're beyond. You know, Star Trek used to operate with, you know, 21st century thought patterns with 23rd century technology. You know, you could, if you can fly around in space like that, you could just make an avatar. You don't have to risk life and limb to go yourself. That's old school. Those fuckers will do that. You send a hologram, nice and safe. You send some kind of robot. Robots are coming, people. You know, I make a joke about it, talking about the sex robots. One of the reasons why I got like 90,000 fucking views on YouTube when I talk about sex robots. People are very interested in that. And, you know, I've seen some statistics about how many excessive men there are going to be. But, you know, we don't really have to worry about it because the New World Order is going to take care of that. And going according to the Georgia Guidestones, a lot of the excess males are going to get wiped out. You know, that's one of the reasons why Russia went into the war in World War II, was to get rid of some of the men. You know, they sent them into battle with an empty rifle, and then the other guys got the ammunition. When one of them dies, pick up the rifle. But that's life on the farm. This is Rocket reporting live from the Broken Femur Bunker Studios, FEMA Zone number 10. Below the radiation belt. Definitely, I can see it in the sky. Looks gray. I don't see any chemtrails. But there have been like a gazillion military helicopters flying all fucking around every day, vibrating the windows, making the animals get all upset. Keeping it safe, right?